Hey, hey, hey. Let's get into some stuff today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so today I'm going to first, I guess I'll look at comments. Let's see. Hey, Plasma and Mike and Apocalypse. Wait, what? I'm surprised that seems cheap for him. Like he could get away with trying to pull in way more than that. Because I remember Trump University when it was the biggest online scam ever invented, and University of Phoenix and all those other ones. Yeah, this we're going to talk about that Scarface lifestyle. I'm going to share some tweets from this guy that talks about it. Oh, good. Well, Jeremy, I hope you have a lot to say then on this. Yeah, I kind of knew that in the back of my mind that he became famous for some kind of boxing or fighting before he became what would you call him, an influencer? A crook, a thug? I don't know, take your pick. Um, so first, before we do that though, I want to play a little clip from that press conference that Trump did with Zelensky. I watched the entire thing. It's about 50 minutes long. And the little clip that was circulating on social media yesterday didn't really do it justice. I came away with a worse opinion of J.D. Vance and Donald Trump than I did after I watched the whole thing. And it wasn't as bad as that one little clip makes it look. J.D. Vance had very little, he had a very small part in the whole thing. And for the first 40 minutes or so, things were going more or less fine between Trump and Zelensky. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of a panel breakdown that we see on here. And the ones we see on here are worse than the one from yesterday with Trump and them. But it's just people not misspeaking and mishearing, but taking things a certain way and saying things in response to that are very heartfelt. But if your goal is to, that's part of what diplomacy is, right? You want to choose your words to get the result that you're trying to get, and I don't think that always happened. I have there are things to admire on all sides. There are parts where I could see what Zelensky's saying, and my sympathies were with him. There were parts where I could see what Trump was saying. There were parts where I could kind of see Vance's point, and Marco Rubio spoke for a little bit too. And that's the part I want to play. Because most of the press conference was about Ukraine and this deal they're trying to make. But one of the reporters threw out a question related to free speech. And that is my number one issue. If I had to prioritize and rank my values and my issues, free speech would be at the very top of that list. And almost all of the political decisions I make, my votes, the values, and the people that I support are all centered around that core value of free speech. Because free speech is free thought. I need to be able to talk and express to fully understand and know my own thoughts. And so when you free speech assumes that you get to control language and you get to decide what I can say and what I can think. And I don't accept that. And free speech is such a bedrock American value. And it's been suggested on the stream when I bring it up that it's not under threat. There's an overreaction. You know, the gaslighting. What are you talking about? No one's trying to shut down free speech. The Democrats are not trying to do it. Europe's not trying to do it. Even though I did streams with 7 or 8 Democratic politicians in the lead up to the election talking specifically about restricting internet speech, you have people in England getting arrested for tweets. You have people in the in the Europe wanting to put harsher free speech guidelines on Twitter and Elon Musk. You had the, I don't know if y'all saw that German interview on 60 Minutes from those German people the other day that were making it a crime to say mean things to people on the internet. Like you could go to jail. And I want to dispel the gaslighting that it's not happening and it's not an issue worth taking seriously and fighting for. And so I'm going to share this question and their responses about free speech, mainly to show you that I'm not the only one worried about it. The people at the top are also seeing the same things I'm doing and have the same concerns. Let's see, the clown. Okay, here we I'll get to the comments in a second. Here we go. Free speech. What a wonderful thing it is. I'm so glad we have leadership willing to protect it.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prime Minister Starmer claims repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and was not engaged in censorship. But his country's government arrests people for memes and thought crimes, and even more worrisome is pressuring American companies to censor Americans on his behalf. How can he be a reliable, trustworthy partner when he says things that are demonstrably false on such an important topic?
Well, we actually spoke to him about that yesterday, and we thought they took it very, very much too far. JD was very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco. And we've been speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about that?
Yeah, we have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of those, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made of Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one, that what unites us with Europe, as much as anything else, is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so if Americans are threatened by it, we're going to need to take action in that regard.
Mr. President. It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday. And I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the President's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be seen. The principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
Amen. Praise hell, Satan. Praise Jesus. All of that. And the public square is more and more becoming the global square. It's not confined to any one country. And so people that are willing to protect the American version of free speech in that global public square are the people I'm going to support. If people have any questions of why am I a Trump supporter, why did I swing over to the right, why am I MAGA, all that other stuff, watch that clip right here. If they're the ones supporting what is most important to me, if your team wasn't the ones threatening it, I wouldn't have to swing over to the right. So there's your answer right there, all in this one clip. All right, let's get to Mr. Andrew Tate. Really, all I want to do is share a couple of tweets from this guy on Twitter named Alexander. He's a cognitive behavioral and neuroscience researcher. And his name is, he goes by Date Psych on Twitter. They're two pretty long tweets, but this has come up before. It's come up in some men's groups that I've been part of. What the role models for young men today, and why is Andrew Tate one of them? And people have put out many theories, many explanations. They've tried to psychoanalyze both Tate and the young men of today. But this guy puts forth to me one that I don't hear often, ever, at all. And it's really the most obvious of the explanations. So all I want to do really today is just share it. Here we go. The appeal of Andrew Tate is not because there is an absence of masculine role models on the right, or anywhere really. They don't have to come from the right. They just have to be positive role models. Andrew Tate appeals to a subset of young men for the same reason a subset of young men think pimps, vices, violent music, hedonistic lifestyles, and crime are cool. This is the same personality disposition that would look at the lifestyle of Hugh Hefner or Chapo Guzman and think, this is cool, I want to be like that. The vices and the antisocial behavior itself are a big part of the appeal. I think there's a disconnect understanding this with people who have not spent much time around the criminal population. They struggle to relate to the fact that a lot of young men think, glorify, and revel in antisocial behavior. They enjoy and brag about their crimes. Young men join gangs because they want to emulate them. So what happens is a lot of people end up inventing third variable explanations. He joined a gang because he had no food and had to steal like a medieval highwayman. Nope. He joined a gang because he saw a criminal subculture and criminal peers as cool. He wanted to do something violent and aggressive. Being involved in crime and antisocial behavior itself was the motive. Young men don't like Tate because he is the most masculine conservative, or because there is a dearth of masculine role models on the fight somehow. They like him because they have the same psychological profile of impressionable young men with antisocial tendencies who emulate their antisocial peers. They think the bad things are actually good things. They like the pimping and the cam girls and the pornography empire. They like him talking about how he is some kind of Romanian mafioso who is able to bribe corrupt officials. They like money and being rich and flashy cars and smoking cigars and crafting a sort of Tony Montana image. They also like the victim narratives and paranoia that occur in these criminal subcultures. That is another shared trait, and I'll end it with that. The Matrix is out to get me. We are unique and different from the normal world, and it's totally unfair to us. Some of you would be surprised how common it is for criminals and institutions to commiserate and depict their lot in life as some unjust act that unfairly happened to them. The cops were out to get me, says the criminal who committed a crime, as if they aren't supposed to be, or as if the entirety of virtuous society isn't supposed to be opposed to the vice element. When you see fans of criminals, as well as criminals themselves, the obvious and superficial is true. They glorify the crime. They think the bad thing is good. The appeal is the antisocial behavior itself. That makes the most sense to me out of all of the explanations I've heard so far. These are the criminals that are idolizing him. And that's how many we have in society today. I'm going to read one more tweet from this guy about role models. The positive conservative role models for young men are the guys in your neighborhood with happy, intact families who wake up in the morning to do the work that keeps civilization running. They are role models because if you emulate them, you will have similar results and a similarly positive net effect on society. Influencers who promote crimes and vices are not positive, but more importantly, they are not role models. You will not attain their lifestyle by emulating them, for the same reasons that you won't become a drug kingpin by watching Scarface 100 times. If your role model is antisocial in nature and you try to emulate them, the drug dealer rather than the basketball player, then your failure to emulate them will just damage you, your life, and those around you further. Being successful in these kinds of ventures is like winning the lottery or being at the top of a pyramid scheme. This is how antisocial behavior strategies work. They persist, but only in a small minority of people, because only a minority of people make it when they pick that route. I am once again reminded, I'll skip that part. Basically, they are delusional, low-status young men who don't want to work hard, yet feel entitled to the world. I heard an old expression the other day, too many chiefs, not enough Indians. It's that phenomenon. Everyone wants to be important, famous, high status, rich, attractive, and so forth. Not everyone is, will be, or even can be. A lot of people want to take shortcuts to status and the outcomes that they want in life. This is where they fall prey to get-rich-quick schemes and alternative pathways to success or status. Crime is also an example of this. I don't want to work an entry-level job, so I will just sell drugs. But everything you do in life that is valuable to society and that represents a viable life trajectory for young men is slow and hard. The race is not for the swift, so to speak. Imagine every cathedral in Europe. Huge structures built by hand over decades and even centuries. The collective labor of thousands of workers of varying level of skill. The laborer who carries blocks, who one day, if he is persistent and has some talent, becomes the master mason designing the next grand structure. These are your role models, and they still live and exist all around us. A lot of young men need to look a lot closer to home from their role models instead of on social media. That, I think, is the real issue. Why are they getting their role models from social media in the first place? What is absent from their immediate life? And it was the same in my generation too. I got my role models from music, TV, movies, books. I didn't have a lot of positive role models myself. So when you have an absence of real life role models that you can learn kind of hands on from and get that direct experience and direct emulation, then the next layer out is going to be media, whether it's TV, social media, whatever, and you're going to find the Andrew Tates. But as this guy says, to me, it's mostly that criminal sub element that's going to be drawn to Tate and find him appeal. So I don't think we have a crisis of positive young men that are being siphoned off by people like Tate. I think these are the people that would look for people like Tate anyway, because that is who they are. And the rest of the young men, as long as there's people around that can keep society going for them to model themselves after, I think those young men are going to be fine. I don't think we're as much in the crisis as we seem to. Social media distorts everything. I think it's an artifact of social media. Everything's a crisis now. Everything is a magnified crisis. So I think when you're evaluating social media crises, you have to evaluate them against the real world and what's going on in your immediate environment, neighborhood. Is it actually a crisis? All right, I'm going to look at comments and then I will drop the link. Yeah, I agree that they're garbage, but they're also. We looked at the dolphins yesterday with the pufferfish and try to get high, and animals that psychopathically kill other. There's something animal, not even human. It transcends, or what's the opposite of transcends? Like would it descend? It transcends, but on a lower level. The human. It's there's something prime in our primal nature that's going to seek out a pack, a tribe, if there's not a higher alternative offered, or if we can't like somehow assimilate to or integrate ourselves into a higher alternative. Gang is going to be like the animal default, even though they are garbage, and they're garbage relative to what we know humans to be capable of. Hey, Zat, and happy Mardi Gras, Mike. Yes, indeed. Monday is Lundi Gras. Tuesday is Mardi Gras. I will be out both days. I work both days, so there'll be a early evening stream, but I will definitely be out both days with my beads on, partying it up, and you're all invited. Getting in your cage. Oh, I thought he's keeping the boys in cages. Um, all right, I'm going to drop the link, and we'll get today's party started. I did 3 streams yesterday, and one of them was that planetary parade, and that would turned out wild. We had some planetary conversations. So check that out if you haven't. All right. Hang on, my social media is going off. I'll figure it out later. All right, links in. Come on up. Panel's open. I'll hang out here for a little while until the people show up. They might be recovering from last night. And if you have any thoughts on Andrew Tate, young men, any men, old men, anybody, humans, we do all things human here. Um, the Trump thing, Ukraine, Zelensky. Come on up and share. This is your time, your space. Use it wisely, or at least make it entertaining. We talked a little bit at the end of the night last night. There were some people that were on talking about the algorithm. Like, I guess there's a larger algorithm that you can break into where your content starts getting fed to larger audiences. Because as we discovered yesterday, YouTube is the largest, most used platform out there. It's used more than Facebook, more than TikTok, more than Twitter, the whole world. At least, okay, let me qualify. It was the United States, at least in the United States. And so it seems like that the panelverse should be getting more audience or attention than it is. And so I think it's a matter of finding a way to break into this larger algorithm where more people will kind of get to peek into this little corner of YouTube and see what's going on. And not only my channel, but just this little community of channels in general. But I'm not sure it's something you can fake either or manufacture. Or at least I don't want to on my end. I want it to be authentic. There's certain content, I guess, you can create that the algorithm will pick up on. Maybe the way you title your streams, hashtags, all that stuff. You try to get the attention. It's kind of like when I was applying for those jobs and I had to figure out how to get through those AI resume filters. You have to have exactly the precise word. It doesn't matter what your actual skill set is. You had to describe it and word it and communicate it in just the exact precise way to where the machine will let it through and it will end up on somebody's desk. So you have to figure out how to get your content through the algorithm, the exact key that will unlock the little algorithm's gate. Well, Jeremy, if you're out there, give me some more on Andrew Tate. You seem to have looked into it. I did watch that interview he did with his therapist like a year or so ago. I mean, I think it humanized him a bit. I got something out of it. But I mean, a talk with a therapist is easy to humanize. You can humanize anybody through that. It still doesn't make me admire him anymore. And you know, like especially in America, the outlaw archetype has always been one of our cultural like memes, I guess. Our there's always been that outlaw. We're an outlaw nation. Like our whole nation was founded by a gang of outlaws, sort of. So the cowboy, the gangster, that's always been part of American culture. And I think we're always going to have that population. You watch 20 hours days. Are you tempted by him? Like, does he appeal to you at all? Hey, Dom, welcome. The girls, you want to pull the chicks. That's what we were talking about yesterday with Hank and other people. Like, men want to propagate their DNA. It's a powerful drive, the sex drive, lust. It's natural. And when you don't have an outlet for that, you get frustrated. And even when you do have an outlet, you're always chasing the fantasy, but you want to get as close to your erotic ideal as you can. So you're always chasing the fantasy version. And the cars. I'm a little bit encouraged that they're making cars uglier and uglier nowadays. So maybe that'll cut down on the car fetishization. Does the car symbolize chicks? Is that like, oh, if I have all these nice fancy cars, that will equal more women, more boobs, more cars, more boobs? Who did Andrew Tate? So the car is to get the chicks. Okay. That really must be a straight guy thing. Well, misogynist is such a broad word. I'm not defending Tate at all, but I even get accused of it. And I don't think you could find two people further apart than me and Andrew Tate. Oh, wow. Yeah, I want to hear about this hypnosis pimp. Uh, Cars were okay. I didn't get my first car. I didn't even get my driver's license. I was like 20, 21, 22. I think I was 20, 22 when I got my driver's license. And then I got my mom's hand-me-down car in like when I was 23 or 24. So I know for me cars weren't that big of a priority. But growing up, I had my little Hot Wheel machine, and that was one of my favorite toys. Oh my God, I would ride that up and down my grandma's drive. She had two driveways, one on either side of her house. So I could ride up one driveway, and she had a turnaround, and you could go in the road and go to the other driveway and ride. So you had this whole circuit you could make with it. And I would spend hours in my little high. It was the kind you pedaled. It was sleek. Let me see if I can find a picture. It wasn't the ones with the big. It wasn't a big wheel. It was a hot wheel. Um, I think it was a Hot Wheel. It was orange, and it had pedals. Anyway, so I don't know. Maybe that spoiled me for cars. Like, why did they make cars as cool as the little toy car that I drove growing up? I remember when I was first hitting the clubs, I was into the Pixies, and my dream car was a black Jeep, and I was gonna play the Pixies real loud, and I was gonna have like a little skull keychain, whatever the stuff you hang from your mirror. I was gonna pimp it out gothic, and I was gonna drive around. That's what I was gonna use to attract attention. Because in my town, the thing to do, it was a small town, like a few thousand people. The thing to do was to pimp out the guys would get those little tiny trucks. They would fit like two people, and they would pimp them out. They would put the big speakers in the back, the big stereo systems, and they would cruise through town thumping their stereos to try to get the girls. And I wanted a black Jeep, and I was going to do that with the Pixies. And I remember when we'd go out, because we'd go to the city that was close to us on the weekends, and everybody would cruise up and down the drag of the city and thump their music. And me and my friends would go. We had a station wagon, and we would thump Schoolhouse Rock and the soundtrack to The Color Purple. That was our cruising music. I almost got beat up one night. I went with me and my gay friend. It was we went with my sister's two girlfriends. There was these two girls, and they had a Trans Am or a Corvette or some kind of fancy sports car. So it was two girls in the front seat, and me and my gay friend in the back. And they wanted to go cruising on a Friday night. And one of the girls picked a fight with one of the rednecks in one of the big trucks. But they're not going to ever fight the girl. So they pointed to the back seat and they were like doing this, indicating they were going to fight us. And they chased us in their truck. Like we had to outrun them. They tried to herd us into this parking lot so that we would get out and fight them. It was, as long as we were in the car safe, it was hilarious. But oh my God, if they had ever gotten us. Hey, Busker.
Hey Jeff, how's it going, man?
What's up? How's it going with you?
Not too much. Sorry. Hey, did you happen to catch Trump and Vance like schooling Zelensky?
Yeah, I played a little clip of it at the beginning of the show, and I watched the whole thing this morning.
It was so funny, man. It was like they were talking to a toddler.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in Vance, and then Trump too joined in. But I did notice there was one point where Vance tried to carry the conversation and like say, "Oh, this is not appropriate to talk about in front of the American people," and Trump's like, "No, no, no. I think people need to hear this. I think this is a
Yeah.
perfectly fine conversation for people to have." And I'm like, "Yes, you go." That's what I do on my panels. Take care, Dom. Good to see you. What were you embarrassed about, not less? I mean, I was not. I wasn't embarrassed, but it was cringe. It was a little bit cringe, seeing Vance, but it wasn't. If you watch just the little clip, you're not getting the full context. It wasn't as bad if you look at the whole thing as if you just see that little clip that's circulating.
Well, yeah. When you watch the whole thing, man, he was talking truth to power, like
Who
school.
Zelensky was?
No, fucking Vance. Because, like, dude, like, how much money America has sent to them, and he doesn't give a shit. He's a spoiled brat. He's a
Well,
fucking.
he's concerned that
I think he got fired. I
that
heard.
the ceasefire is going to get violated because Putin's violated it before.
I heard
And
he got fired, but I don't know if that's real or not. I saw somewhere that he got let go by the minister. I don't.
Zelensky did?
Yeah, is that true
Oh, I
or
didn't know he could get fired. I know that they
I think they let him go because like he's really disgraced now. I mean, he's just fucked up, you know.
well, and then depending on who you talk to, I'm hearing how disgraced Trump and Vance are. Hey, African, what's up? Did you get any sleep?
Look like I got any sleep,
I don't
bro.
know. Let me see. You
Did
look
I?
about the same, so I don't know.
Oh, cool. That is fantastic. I like your response. What's with your T-shirt, man?
Oh, that's my Satan unicorn.
Oh my God.
See, it says "Hail Satan."
Goodness, geez.
Ah!
Has a little spike collar.
Oh God. Nay.
You know what? I thought I was drunk. You know, sir, could you like come over here? Do like,
Huh?
do you remember
Who?
that stuff? Do you guys remember that bait
What?
car? The
The
bait,
what?
the bait cars. You know the American shows where they used to make bait cars. You know, I know, officer. I swear to God, I find like that. You
Bait?
get it?
What is it?
Bait cars. The bait cars.
Bait
What?
cars?
Yeah, yeah. So when they literally used to make like honey traps, a bait.
Oh,
car.
like on cops?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Bait car.
Bait
Okay.
car.
Yeah, well, Jeremy knows what you're talking about.
At first, I
I
thought
used
you
to
were
watch
talking
cops
about.
all the time.
I thought you were talking about
Exactly.
Pimp My Ride or something for a second.
Yeah, I mean that was later deals, but you get me. Like, no, officer, I swear to God, man, that dude just gave me his car keys, man. Because they literally, like,
You have our accent down so well.
yeah, it's my car now, bitch. This guy's like, look at this scumbag. He thinks he knows what's going on. Ah, shit. He drives around his hoods, picking his friends up. Yeah, look what I got, buddy. There's money in the car. All of a sudden, I close it down, and there's like five. No, don't do it. My God, sir, I don't know. My friend just gave me the keys, man.
Not laws. That's what I thought he was talking about at first. Like, what's a bait car? So good. What time is it there, uh, African?
African?
9:30 at night.
It's 4:30 over in East Coast, America. Where'd you get that hat?
Oh,
You're
It's
muted.
not a hat, man. It's a tea cozy.
it's not
What does that mean?
It's a tea cozy. Literally, it was made in like
it's
Iceland.
not a teacup. For what kind of teapot?
Well, the volcano tea. It's when my nuts need a rest. It needs to sit in there, bro.
I was wondering what the fuck that was.
You know it, man. Yeah, exactly. Like, rest there.
What's the red?
Ladies and gentlemen, you do that. Like,
What's the red on the front? What is that supposed to be? Is
it's
that
a
like a
volcano.
stain?
It's a volcano, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's from Iceland. So it's like symbolic. Phallic.
Like your head's
Symbolic.
exploding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Your head's gonna explode.
Good on you. Touche.
Yeah, dude.
What's happening in Britain today?
Well, you tell me, man.
Well,
We had
how would I know?
Zelensky back to bullshit ball bags. We got now Zelensky telling us, give me more money. Trump actually put Zelensky down. It was amazing.
I
Telling
know.
Zelensky, like, shut the fuck up, man. Sit down in your little chair.
He needed schooling. He's like a
Well, I don't think money was the issue because they were making that deal of the raw earth. Trump kept talking about the raw earth. They kept They have the deal. He's going to get some money
All
from
these,
the
man.
raw earth. The issue was how to ensure that the ceasefire is going to get honored
my
because
God.
Putin's breached it
But America
many
isn't
times
the
before,
fucking
and Trump is
man.
like, "Well, he's not going to do it with me. You just have to trust me."
Well, it's a grocery list of Zelensky bullshit, man. I gotta say, dude.
Most of it was related to security for the country. If they
I
have the
mean, like,
deal, how are they going to guarantee?
how he can like just like put just random people and old people in the military, just throw them in there like a fucking like a shooting gallery.
Yeah, Jeremy Zelensky asked, as someone also who doesn't wear a suit, Zelensky handled that like a pro. I love that one. He said, I'm not here to answer non-serious questions like that. Hey, freak. I liked his shirt. It was Zelensky's little outfit.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice he didn't have a suit until the reporter asked him.
yeah, I never even thought about that till they mentioned it. I mean, I guess that, I've never been to the White House.
And he called it a costume. He's like, maybe I'll wear a costume down the road. Maybe it'll be even a better one than yours, he said.
Yeah. I wonder what that symbol was on in the center of his sweater. It looked
like Chess King from the mall way back in the day.
Or something.
That's a good question. I wonder let's see if we can find out.
It looked like a kind of like a pitchfork, but like some sort of like royal kind of, I don't know if that's.
Oh, it's the Ukraine military emblem.
Okay, there you go.
That makes sense.
Looks like a pitchfork, kind of. At least, unless my vision was fucked.
Not laws. You sound jealous, or that you not ultra wealthy. If you become ultra wealthy, you can get the tax break too. And if you have $5 million, you can even move to the U.S. I know how much you like it here. Unless you're African, might get to come for free as a refugee.
Excuse me? What?
You might get to immigrate here under Trump.
Oh, to America. Oh, no,
Yeah.
man. I've got family out there in America. I don't want to go there.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah, I'm a Mormon,
I
ain't
thought
I?
you one of our biggest
Remember,
fans.
that's the funniest thing is remember in like South Park? Oh, goes to have macaroni pictures, Mormons. Dum 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 dum. You know, fantastic story that. The best people. Were they the ones that ate each other? It's funny time.
Well,
What kind of war room you want to set up, Jeremy? Are you mean to like pick up chicks? Multicultural.
Wants to pick up multicultural chicks.
We have
Mm.
exchange programs. Just hijack one of those. Well, anything exciting going on in your lives today?
I can't disclose this conversation here. Cancel, cancel. No. Yes,
Are,
there's
are
very much exciting stuff, but I can't actually say why.
are you going out tonight with your friend?
No, I'm
No. You
fucking
say
not.
no, like that's the craziest question in the world.
I know. It's like, why would I, man?
No.
I'd probably tear down the street, get arrested, and then there'd be problems because who has to bail me out? God damn it!
It sounds like he has the means to. Did you hear from him? Did he make it home?
I think he did.
Okay.
Yes. Oh man, sorry. He is a good man, and he really has a lot, riding. As in, like this guy will probably be a billionaire soon.
Oh, I thought he was.
Yeah. No, no.
Last night he was, but
Exactly. He was telling us he's a
what
billionaire.
does he do?
Um, he drives people.
Uber,
Hmm.
an Uber
Like
billionaire. So
actually,
that's why when I said to get an Uber, you're like,
it's
nah,
security.
man.
Like security because he
Oh,
has that. He drives people. So there is so much, yeah, families. Yes.
like he drives
Yeah, he drives them
well-to-do
up and
people.
down the spine of the country. He picks them
Does
up.
he carry a gun?
Don't ask that. Yeah,
Uh,
you're not allowed to know because we can't
that means
say that.
yes.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do that. Yeah. So in London, there was this sort of guy that was murdered in the Hilton or one of these big things, and the servant came downstairs and said, "Oh, can you clean this shit up?" So people went upstairs to look at it, and there was a dead body in the ground, and they were like, "This is a murder scene." Instead of actually making a murder scene, they escorted the entourage out and got him out the country within like 12 hours. And he didn't know what have I done wrong. You murdered somebody. Yeah, but he's my servant. You get to do that.
Wait. Someone murdered their servant.
Yeah, in London, yeah, in one of the uprise, estates, yeah. Well, it was all yeah. We always do, don't we? I mean, what is it with you guys? And
man, that servant must have really pissed him off, dude.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was spilled milk or something. But yeah, he brutalized the fucker. He cut him, man. It was like,
Yeah,
dead.
dude.
It was awful. And also, the guy went downstairs to say, "Oh, there's a bit of a, issue in my room. Change it." Yeah, people thought like, okay, it's gonna be some funky stuff here. No, it's dead body.
oh man.
Wait,
Yeah,
he's the one that killed him, and then he went downstairs and said, "Can you
He must,
come
yeah,
help?
he must have
Like,
been
yeah.
on
there's a dead
drugs.
body that I just made in my room. Can you
Yeah.
help me clean it up?"
Is he on drugs or wasted on or something or fucking drunk? I mean, that's kind of crazy. Maybe he's just mental, psychotic.
There are those people out there.
Yeah, there's plenty of them.
I was watching a Buck Angel did an episode on the trans death cult, and they
Oh, I
seem,
heard about that. That's freaking crazy.
yeah, that
That's like a
there's
kind
some
of a
weirdness going
relatively
on
new
there.
thing, right? Yeah, it's kind of new. Some shit.
They
Maybe
were
the
all
next
computer
couple of years.
engineers.
My God, dude. That's all we need. Bunch of hackers.
Not lies. The cat thing has been debunked. Nobody believes that anymore at all. You keep bringing it up. You're the only one I think that still even keeps it going.
What cat thing?
The kids in school using litter boxes because they think they're cats. That's not a real thing.
Yeah, dude, I can't. I mean, when I heard that, I mean, I thought at the time I thought I wouldn't be surprised at this point, but like then when I stopped and thought about it, I was just like, what? No, no. I mean, they would,
Don't you remember potty training? Is when we actually had the anal phase and we went into litter, and mommy said no. I don't remember
I don't
that too.
personally remember it because it hopefully
Exactly,
happened early
exactly.
enough.
Thank God it didn't, huh? But apparently, your taxpayers' money is going to litter trays, and people are like picking it. They're Mexicans. Could you imagine it? Hey, man, I'm picking up wasting this shit on their litter box, man.
That's your Mexican accent.
Yeah, I
Is
don't
it?
know.
Is the movie called Evil? I know there's a TV show called Evil that I tried to watch, but oh, I remember I started watching Evil, and by the second or third episode, there was some woke plot line
yep.
that completely turned me off, and I said, I am not
That's
watching this show anymore.
that's
And I was getting
exactly,
into it too.
dude, that was exactly the point where I stopped watching it too.
About the hell, they was like in a hospital.
Yeah, it's like all
Yeah, it was
like.
so fucking stupid. It ruined the entire franchise for me.
Mhm. I mean, like there are times where I'll give woke shit a chance, even though like they'll cross the line with what like where I think yeah this is crazy and stupid. But um, if it's good enough, I'll deal with it. But if it sucks, I'm sorry. This isn't even that great anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, woke can definitely take an already average movie and shift it over into suck.
It kind of like it's like wasted plot line. I mean to add it, it's not a bad thing to add gay people
No,
in.
no, no. Work is identity politics. Work is something that is nasal
Like
gauge.
the tranny
Yes,
thing,
work is existentialism, right?
the
Are
trans
we in the age of enlightenment or the fall of enlightenment?
and
No?
like the DEI stuff. Like it's all it creeps over
Dude,
to Hollywood.
Doge, bro.
Hollywood.
I mean, what was it? Trump, being a businessman, has rinsed almost like 120 billion pound in no time. He's rinsed that in his own asset with being president. And people might say, "Oh my God, look at this guy, man! This guy, man, he's Putin incarnate, man. Get rid of Putin, get rid of Trump." That shit's coming to haunt us, huh?
We're gonna feel the influence.
Oh my
Said
God, aren't we just?
Zelensky said, "You may not feel it now, but you're gonna feel
Man,
it."
that guy,
And
man.
Trump's like, "Don't tell us what we're gonna
Yeah.
feel."
No,
You're
you
not in a
did do
position to
that.
tell us.
That was funny. It
Was
was.
was he talking about like the threat of Putin?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't stop him here, you'll
You'll
feel it
you'll
down the
feel
road.
the like he might as well have said you'll feel his wrath. It's just kind of like
Well, basically, is that basically saying like, no, you have no men to kill anymore.
that's right.
We're not going to, no, stop the dead field. Don't do it. Stop. And
Yeah,
people don't want to say that. So where's the next one? Congo? Where do you think the next real?
Trump did say something very interesting, that he stopped a war that most people probably didn't even realize was about to happen between two countries. I'm so curious now what he's talking about. What two countries were about to go to war that we don't know about?
Or two countries? All
Yeah,
these
he said,
countries.
I stop wars all the time. Wars that y'all don't even know are happening. In fact, just the other day, I stopped a war between two countries, like two very popular countries, that none of you even know was going to happen.
you think he's
That seemed like a bold or strange thing to go on
Oh,
public TV to
it's going to
say.
be like Israel and Hamas.
Well, no, because he addressed that separately. He's like we need to fix that one too. Ukraine
Oh,
is a mess, and so is Israel. We need to go fix that one as well. So
oh
this
shit!
was one he already fixed
Oh,
because he's a deal maker. He said he fixes them behind the scenes before they start.
Hmm.
why do you think the boogeyman exists in Russia to the Americans, to
The
the West?
boogeyman.
The
I mean,
boogeyman.
I think there's
Somebody has
legitimate.
to have a boogeyman.
I don't
Has
know
to
if
be
he's a
evil
boogeyman.
China.
I think there's legitimate reasons to be worried about Putin. He's
Who's
done
the
some pretty
boogeyman?
awful things. It's
The boogeyman.
Mm.
You gotta be someone.
Well, for a lot of people, it's Trump
Oh, there it
or
is.
Elon. Elon's the latest boogeyman.
Oh yeah, I reckon. Oh yeah, that's right. Trump. Actually, I'm a South African too. I'm a South
Maybe
African.
you'll be a boogeyman one day,
Yeah,
someday.
exactly. That's what's funny. I'm somewhat of a South African too. Huh?
So what part of South Africa did Elon live in?
Well, same as me actually. Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah. I'm from like know Transvaal, right?
Hmm.
The
And he's
Transvaal, is
from.
that in South Africa,
Well, yeah, no shit.
or is it its own country? Or is it part of South Africa?
It's always South Africa. And it's
Uh,
called Gauteng
that's
now,
the
right?
only part that the white people live in.
Oh God, what are you talking about? The white people. I'm sorry, white people everywhere.
Oh, I
White
didn't know
people
that.
nowhere. Tell me, man, what's the problem?
I don't know. I'm a bad person to ask about white people.
Why?
I don't keep tabs on all the white people in the world.
Oh shit, man, you should, man. They're the best.
They just don't interest me enough.
Please. Eat the white people.
Hey, did you ever go to Sun City growing up?
No, not there.
Oh, was he? That's anything, Jeremy? Anything interesting?
A
I didn't see a thing
Walmart.
about it. Usually, when Rogan has a big guest or something interesting breaks on Rogan, it's all over social media. I didn't even know he was on.
Oh yeah, man, it's like over 2 hours.
I did see something where they were testing an AI. He and I think it was Elon
What they
doing
just.
some kind of AI test.
It must have been something in the past, or
Yeah, that's what I took it as. Like it was an old clip, but it might have been from this recent experience. Yeah, I think you're right, Jeremy. And Elon's already proven that he can do that with Twitter.
yeah, he's not afraid to break things. That's for
Right.
sure,
If
man.
you need someone who can move fast and break things, Harrisburg, that is definitely your guy.
Hmm. Oh, no.
Is everybody stoned today?
I'm tired, stoned, and I should eat something, but I just don't have the get up
Oh,
and go to get up and go
you have stuff.
downstairs.
You have stuff to eat.
I got eggs, and I'll probably eat them raw. I'll clean off the shells real good because I've heard that when there's a chance, I think with the shells, if you get the shells inside the egg mucus, whatever the fuck that is, it'll that's what transfers what's that sickness?
The salmonella.
Salmonella, yeah. So what I do is I've got like 100% rubbing alcohol that I use for a bunch of different things, and I just lay out a paper
Well, you
towel.
don't. You do cook stuff. Yeah.
I can't really do that anymore, brother.
Why? You got gut problems.
I got multiple sclerosis, and I
Yeah.
can't I
Yeah.
can't stand up too
Yeah.
well without leaning on the shit. And then, I mean, I could but just I've lost the energy to even just make hard boiled eggs.
I mean, no, man. No, man. Food. Are you eating to survive or surviving to eat?
Like my
Well, really. I mean, I love food, man.
I
Best
know
thing.
I used to also until my bowels kind of
Oh,
stopped. Like they don't work. They're neurologically they don't work right anymore.
how
Well,
long have you had this issue?
since probably my first symptoms of it or attacks, the first
Yeah.
attack I had was in 2003, but it
Oh,
wasn't diagnosed till 2007. Even though I kept telling my fucking primary
so you
care.
have IBS. Is it IBS?
What?
That means irritable, irritable bowel syndrome.
Well, it's called like your poop chute's broken via MS.
Poop she's broken.
Yeah. And I don't have diarrhea. I can't shit for like I, I'm dehydrated. Plus the medicine I have to take, the fucking muscle relaxants, they fucking dry me out. Like might as well be opioids.
Wow. Do you know what, man? We get you on a better diet.
And what?
We got to get you on a better diet. Yeah.
Well, I just need somebody to cook
You
for me.
know, the bio diet. You know, you guys.
Never got a wife, never had a kid, never did any of that shit.
Well, you have somebody, don't you?
Well, a few of my family, they're real busy. So
You got somebody who is there for you. Like seriously, guy.
well, there's a supposedly a social worker, hopefully gonna
Oh
pull
shit.
some strings and
Yeah.
try and get me some
Yeah.
help over here because I need some fucking.
Well, amen to you.
And I've been waiting and waiting, and it's been what 5 years now, and fucking.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, well, even more than that, I think I just kind of forgot about it after a little while, and then I started to really try and push levers to get the help, and it's just like you got this caseworker that'll come over and evaluate and all this and that, but they always say it takes time. It's gonna take time. And it just seems like it's a perpetual nightmare. So that's why I don't have any help. And my nephew doesn't come around anymore. He used to come at least once a week. Now I'm lucky if I see him once every 3 months.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
you still have that case worker lady that comes
Yeah,
up.
that's what I was just talking about. I'm just waiting to see what happens. They have to plead my case, and I even had my neurologist have write up to date report on my situation with the problem, and so hopefully that does something. I don't know, man. We need Elon Musk on the case here.
Oh, I did you
Shit.
ever follow up about that doctor's appointment that they canceled on you?
Oh, the MRI?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. And the place that I got the only place close by that I mean was the place where the hospital where my doctor is, my neurologist, and they she doesn't know if they do outpatient
Oh.
MRIs. So I'm just gonna have to wait and see. I'm not in any rush to call them after that experience I had, but it's a different situation, so maybe it'll be better. They just better. And if I don't get a cell phone soon, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I'm less than nothing because I don't have a fucking cell phone.
Is she able to get you one? The caseworker?
That they're trying to, or supposedly it was supposed to happen in February, and nothing's come through. They put in the what do you call it, the request or whatever. I don't know what do you call that. I don't know.
Well, they need
And
to follow up.
yeah, man.
They are there Trump phones? There used to be Obama phones. Does Trump have
I,
phones?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Get you a Trump phone.
I have my doubts. My brother said he would put me on his plan, but like, it's like he's been kind of silent. But he's so busy, so I think he probably is not thinking about it that often.
I was thinking about that. The Elon phone. It's going to be a Neuralink, a Starlink, Neuralink phone. We'll all be in each other's brains soon, nonstop. You'll have the Panelverse embedded in your brain.
Oh, dude, that sounds like a nightmare.
The- I don't know. It could be. I could see it going either way, depending on who's on at any given time.
Yeah, I mean, like all kinds of stuff is happening with AI. It's kind of a little bit spooky.
It seems slow though. I thought AI would be way more advanced
Yeah, dude,
than it is now. It seems to be just crawling to
yeah,
wherever it's going.
Elon actually, I was gonna say, Elon demonstrated how the Grok thing or whatever. I don't know if they were demonstrating the Grok thing. It was some AI, and just basically showing that it's not answering the question right, and it's just like, but like, the thing is funny because the thing starts fucking with Elon and Joe Rogan. I thought that was entertaining. I haven't watched the full 2 hour plus thing yet, but I saw most of the first hour.
Mm.
That is entertaining.
I know I tried to do something with it the other day and it wouldn't let me. Oh, it wouldn't create a thumbnail of Donald Trump. It said it has the potential to be offensive. And it wouldn't let me do something because of black people. I don't remember what. Angry Jeff without coffee. Y'all have never seen Angry Jeff. He doesn't come out. That's when my demon comes out.
Yeah.
Very few people have had the pleasure of seeing him because it takes a lot to get me to that point. And people, strangers on the internet, are probably not even going to come close. So that's the spurging out that you see on here. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
You ever get violent?
Mm-mm.
Jeff.
Not as an adult. When I was a kid, I threw tantrum. I kicked a hole in my wall, but it was an accident. But I did kick a hole in my wall.
Dude,
We had a
yeah.
sheetrock wall. I didn't know how flimsy sheetrock was. I was laid on my bed, kicking, throwing a tantrum, and my feet went through the wall. I said, "Oops! Now I'm really gonna be in trouble."
Drywall was too easy. Oh my god. I remember, it was so disrespectful that I did that, but I had anger issues.
Yeah, I think that's common with just guys in general, and then
Teenager.
neurodivergent people, our emotional, our regulation, our executive functioning, because regulation takes a certain amount of executive function.
But mostly when I was a child, though. I mean, I still had that kind of urge to be angry. But
You had the what?
urge to be an angry kid by the time I turned to be a teenager. But it's mostly when I was, uh, elementary school, and like they really put me through the mill with the psychiatry and counselors and this and that and shit. They put me on all kinds of stuff. Like they try me on. Well, I was on Ritalin for about a year,
Oh,
and I was so skinny. I was so paper thin. You could see right through me. It looked like. And when I got off of it, and I blew up. But then, like, they put me on lithium. They put me on all kinds of other shit. They just all kind of fucked with my head. I didn't see any goodness about it.
wow, Jeremy, I feel so much better now knowing that there was already a meme prepared for it. Yeah, Mike, I just looked it up. It does look good. Death of a Unicorn. It's a movie coming up. Yeah, they tried all that with me. Not really the medications because they didn't know about all that back then. But my
Yeah.
main problem was I just had an enormous amount of energy. I still do, and I just didn't have an
No,
outlet
man.
for it.
But yeah, like if you were born later, you would go through that like in the 80s, like the
Yeah,
early mid 80s to the 90s, and like it's just like they wanted to diagnose with people with all kinds of shit.
I remember that. I was generated just before that, just on that cusp before they started medicating all the kids. I'm sure my mom would have loved it.
Attention deficit disorder. They love that term.
Jeremy, they did it with you too. It from what I know about the meds, not having experienced them myself, they have mixed. It's very individual. It just depends on the kid. Some kids it'll help. Some it won't do anything. Some it will make them worse.
Oh yeah.
The best I've found the best thing is to just redirect that energy. Give them some kind of constructive outlet to channel it into. You don't have to worry about medicating them.
I wish I had had that. I didn't really do anything until I became musical. That saved me, dude.
Hmm.
Fucking in my mid-teens, like about 14, 15. I started to play guitar when I was about 11 with my dad's guitar. I didn't know what I was doing, but I played it upside down because he's right-handed and I'm left-handed. So I learned how to play power chords upside down.
Just by like self-taught.
Yeah, well, like just putting my fingers where if it's tuned up, I would tune it up, and then I'd figure out where my fingers would go just by listening. Or I'd put my fingers and making a chord, playing
Oh
it
wow.
together. So I started with a two-note power chord being the E and the A string, the low E and the A string. And yeah, dude, like that was what opened me up, man. And then first it was like probably yeah, pop punk music, then ska music, ska punk music, and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, that's what it did for me too. I don't know where I'd be without my rock music. That really helped ground
Oh yeah,
my
dude.
emotions.
Dude, that was without that, I don't think I would be anywhere near the same person I am now. I think it helped me grow.
I
Uh,
wonder what maybe that's part of the problem with ki kids today. Like, what are they doing for the thing that rock music did for us? What do they have that substitutes for that? Because typing on a keyboard to me is not good. Maybe video games, like you get
well,
that
that's
energy from
that's
video.
a big thing. I mean, I'm finding like, see, video games have been going for ever and ever, kind of. But like, I'm still playing video games because that's I got nothing else to do most of the time, or play my Cajun accordion, guitar, or whatever.
Hmm.
Do you know Axis Rat Blood?
Yeah, he was on last night. He came up.
Yeah, yeah. I got on. I played some Cajun accordion on his thing. He helped adjust because it was really loud, so he turned it down, jammed out a little bit. But these things don't sound that great through StreamYard at all.
Oh, still that StreamYard issue.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really checked it how it sounds now recently. I should listen to a replay or whatever.
I think Jeremy. I mean, yeah, Jeremy. Yes, but only for psychopaths. Because I think normal, healthy kids are not going to adopt him as a role model. It's kind of like the bad kid in the neighborhood. Like you want your kids to stay away from the corrupting influence, and most kids do. It's only the kids that are already like partially corrupt anyway that are going to even be influenced by that person.
Or like having a rough childhood, or just being an angry kid.
I was that kid. I was the kid all the other parents were trying to keep their kids to stay away from. I was that kid. And I wasn't even that bad. I was a nerd. I basically just read books and did stuff on my own. I don't know what they were scared of.
I had a Greek friend when I was about, I guess, 11, Greek American, and his parents were off the boat Greek, and my mom and his mom had some sort of feud, some sort of like they didn't like each other kind of thing going on. And I'd always hear this about George Drapiers as well. I doxed him, but oh well. And I used to get an earful about that. Just because we did get in some trouble. I mean, we were in Boy Scouts and fucking, you know, caught smoking pot in my parents' house. And,
Oh, how quaint looking
right.
back. Yeah, my siblings got in way more trouble than I did, and I was somehow still the black sheep and the bad guy and everything. And I didn't do half the stuff they did.
Yeah, me and my little brother, I feel guilty because I pretty much contributed to his delinquency all the way until my friends became his friends, and then they contributed. But he turned out okay, though. Have to say, man, he's a good auto mechanic, and he's great, man. He'll drive 120 miles to take me to a fucking appointment. I told you about that, right? About the MRI.
Yeah.
Yeah, drove all the way out here, and they fucking wouldn't take me because I didn't answer my fucking text message.
They did you wrong. That's so stupid. I,
Motherfuckers. Oh.
yeah, Mike. What about Andrew Tate? Which you are you inspired by him? Would you want your kids looking up to him? Oh, there's a couple of them. This one's a 45-minute documentary. Oh, it's from 2 years ago.
Andrew Tate. I think he's a dude. He fucking annoys me. He's a goddamn narcissistic piece of shit.
Yeah, but that's what he's a role model for. He makes people self-reflect. What do they reflect on? Ric Flair. Oh, maybe that. Yeah, because growing up we had the wrestler. Like I remember all the guys had their favorite wrestler they were into.
The
So maybe he's like
WWF.
the modern version of what they saw in wrestlers.
Yeah, that was back from the WWF, right?
I know they had like Junkyard Dog, the Great Kabuki, the one that would blow the green dust.
I never.
Randy Savage.
It was a little entertaining when I was a kid, but once I figured out that it's all kind of set up, it's kind of like a Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey.
Yeah, it kind of was. I mean, I could tell it was fake just as a kid. I didn't buy into any of it, but some people took it seriously.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw how seriously people took it, kids, I just like it really kind of put a stain on it for me. I just never stopped watching it after a while. And I love
Because
the
rock was kind of the same way. We grew up with like Kiss and Alice Cooper and all that. That to me was just as theatrical.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't pay attention to music when Kiss was really popular, but I know about them. I just because that big tongue.
Yeah.
What's his name again? The Jewish guy.
Gene Simmons,
Yeah.
the Antler Avenger. Oh, that would be so. I could. I would want to. What's the Mexican wrestlers? The what do they call those? The oh fuck, Nacho Libre.
Yeah, something like that. Well, no,
It's
that
on
was
the
the
tip of
new
my
band.
mind. God, the
I forget.
luchadors.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I would want to be one of those, but with antlers.
but you gotta I don't know, man. That movie be a little dangerous. Might put out somebody's eye.
Well, you gotta be careful. What is it? You mess with the horns, or you mess with the deer, you get the horns.
Fight with the deer, get the horns.
Do they
Walk
have
with
any Satan wrestlers? I'm surprised. Someone had to have taken that one by now.
I thought that some of them kind of looked like a little dark,
Kevin Sullivan.
like
Oh, he
darker
has some little
personas,
cheap
darker.
little black and red mask. That's all.
That sounds like that Mexican wrestling mask.
El Satanico, Daniel Lopez. Let's check him out. Oh, he is a luchador. Okay. They have. Let's check out El Satanico. Well, they have little Satan horns, but they look corny.
Yeah.
It's here. I'll show a picture. Raven, Gangrel. That's from Vampire. Look, they just look corny. This is like a costume, a Halloween costume you could buy at Walgreens.
Yeah, it is kind of dumb looking.
Especially this one. It's like a hot Batman high.
It looks like something a child would wear.
The real. A vampire rest. Oh yeah, yeah. What did I say? That's from the. He took it from Vampire the Masquerade. That was one of the clans, Gangrel. So it makes sense. Oh my God, he looks. Oh my God, I, I, he looks like what today might be called trans. Like, what restroom does he use? Look at that. My
Look at the
God,
dude, look at the
that he.
tongue.
This is truly one of the scariest wrestlers I've seen, but maybe not for the reasons he thinks. Wow.
He got his
Calm
teeth.
down, ma'am. It'll be okay.
He got his teeth done. Is that a male or female?
I don't know.
I
It's
couldn't tell.
risky to speculate that these days,
Yeah. Well,
especially with somebody like them.
it's risky to even like ponder, right? Like we are, like I am anyway. Was that a male or female? I couldn't tell. Could have been both.
Yeah, I guess so. It's
Oh man, you ever had liquid IV powder in your
liquid
water?
IV powder.
Yeah, it's like electrolytes and potassium and all kinds of other stuff to hydrate you really, really good. It's better than just drinking water. To me, drinking water feels like nothing at all. My mouth will stay dry. But this stuff, I mean, I can't drink way.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They had those little
It's like a packet, and you cut it,
They
and you
had some citrus ones, some orange stuff you
yeah,
could
they
buy.
have all kinds of flavors, and
Yeah, I've had
even
that.
even though it's salt and like
It's like
that,
Tang.
yeah, they got all kinds of stuff, but they have some. It's not. It doesn't taste like table salt at at all. So that people got to get that out of their head, because but it's really good for me. I mean, if I drank enough of it, it might help me go to the number two, but nothing helps. It's just my bowels are I got neurogenic bowels, neurogenic bladder.
It just kind of does its own thing.
Yeah. Basically, I don't want to get too involved
Yeah, I
about it
don't either.
because it might be too TMI for some people. What happens? I mean,
Jeremy, do I think the Tate brothers were set up or are they guilty? I don't know. We reviewed the list of charges the other day, and they were pretty. To me, it's going to be hard to set somebody up with that many charges, and they were separate throughout their career. It wasn't just like one incident. Um, I don't know. Like, why was it Hugh Hefner brought up on charges? Because he had a bunch of girls too. I don't think just having a bunch of girls is going to draw that kind of attention. There has to be more to it than that. And plus, even that Vice episode I just looked up looks like it had some of the girls coming forward and talking about their experiences. And so the girls themselves
I heard there was
were alleging all kind of stuff.
some sort of scandal, but I didn't really pay attention to any of it.
Trafficking and pimping and doing bad things to women.
Now, if it was a politician, I'd probably definitely study that. If like when they fuck up and do something very heinous, it's kind of entertaining in a way, studying how heinous these motherfuckers are.
Heinous anuses.
Heinous anuses. Dude, that would be a good band name. Heinous
Heinous
anus.
anus.
Sounds like something that in the 90s that would be like, like the local like fucking the shows that have like 5 or 6 bands play and
What,
whatnot.
Jeremy? What's your gut read on it? You think he's innocent? Like he's just innocently meeting women off of Tinder and doing his thing. It seems like he's the type that could be involved in some shit. I don't know, and I do believe in due process, so I'd like to see a trial of some sort. To see a trial of
Oh
some sort.
shit! Sorry.
It's, I think you're at it now. I think it's this. We were just talking about bowels earlier.
Yeah, man. It's eventually. Well, I'm 45 now. I don't want to guess. I don't want to think about when I'm gonna need a colostomy bag.
Well,
So,
welcome, Mike. Hell, you walked in at
Hey,
just the right time.
that's all right. We'll take it. We'll take it and run with it. Hey, what's up, Busmore? Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the Tates. What's up, brother? The whole thing with Tates, it's like they have a really strong personality and they rub people the wrong way, but they also inspire some people. So, like, even though a lot of celebrities, because that's what they are, they're celebrities. They could be douchebags, but I mean, still, I mean, they do inspire people to kind of look at themselves and achieve better. I mean,
You
not
think
every
so?
role
Like,
model is like.
that's what I was going to ask. What they inspire people to do? To me, it seems like to
I think
just get women and cars.
not so
right?
much women. I think what they do is they have the effect on a lot of the stoic, simpy kind of men. Men that are kind of afraid to be men. So in other words, non-alpha males look at the way that they live and say, "Man, I want to have that kind of life." Like I was talking about Ric Flair. Every man wanted to be Flair. Some guy that works at a factory, or a 7-Eleven or a carpenter, even though it's a job and they're making a living, they want to be the guy with the diamond rings and the Rolex on the plane. They want to be like that.
Yeah,
So
this is the Zoomers version, I
yeah.
guess.
Zoomer beta. So he caters to beta fantasies. It's not the
So the
alphas
whole,
that are looking up
yeah,
to him.
the whole attraction is to take the less motivated people and motivate them. It's very much like a Tony Robbins or a Grant Cardone, but they do it more, not so much finances, but like the allure of getting women and getting prestige, as in, getting more confidence in themselves. There's different types of motivators, I think, out there, but I've heard and seen some stories of people really kind of being simpish and getting more aggressive and being more assertive in life. I'm not saying that's
In a
everybody. I'm just
positive
saying,
way, in a good way.
yeah, being more of a powerful, more basically being the guy that walks in the room that takes over, and I think there's probably no doubt in mind people like Trump or, Tate, or people like anybody like with that kind of personality. When they come in the room, they're in the room. That
Yeah.
they're there. They automatically demand respect and attention. But like I
I
said, it's an
noticed that in
aura.
that Zelensky conference that
Yeah.
Trump was negotiating from a position of power, and he was very aware of it. He was very aware that as being a president of the United States puts him in a high power position, and he knows how to
Yeah.
use it and negotiate from that position.
So much so that that was one of the rare times that I seen Trump play good cop. Now remember, you got good cop, bad cop. You have the vice president, the president, and usually the president is the one speaking and carrying. But if you notice, Trump let Vance kind of
Yeah,
take over,
yeah,
and
true.
kind of, and then Trump is just sitting back, just chilling. Because I think that two reasons. I think Trump doesn't like Zelensky. I think Zelensky is an ungrateful little man. We've given him so much money, and he's like basically demanding more. Let me tell you something. Okay, I don't know much about much, but I can tell you this: if I'm
He's
a
a
president of a country, and I need your help for survival, I'm not going to walk in and roll my eyes and put my hands over my shoulders and wear a freaking sweatshirt in the White House.
That's
I'm going to
right.
come.
I
I'm going to
like this
come
shirt.
respectable.
I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
see him roll his eyes.
He rolled his eyes and he kept going like this, and it's a show
He-
of disrespect.
yeah, he's frustrated with
Yeah.
like the fact
Well, I
that
mean,
he's not getting
his
more
country
money.
is under attack and his people are dying.
Dude,
I understand.
he's got billions
Understand.
of dollars, man, and we gave him all the fucking gear to go kick some ass, but they can't because they're just
Mhm.
not equipped to
It's
do that. They don't have
it's an
enough.
unwinnable war.
That's right.
They can't win. It's impossible.
It's stupid
And
to like, yeah.
so it's better to go to the negotiating table and work it out and say, all right, let's just figure this out. Because like Trump said a couple times, Trump said right to his face, we're talking about possible World War III. And that is possible.
Yeah.
He's gambling so Zelensky is gambling with our lives.
And Zelensky said
Yeah.
it might come to your door or some shit. That's not verbatim, but you know what I
Yeah,
was
he said you're gonna feel it too.
Yeah,
later.
gonna
Yeah,
feel
Trump said no. Trump said no. I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
No. Little man, go no. Yeah.
I've never
I think
actually felt like about anything in politicians
Yeah.
ever. I've never felt anything like
Yeah.
it's for the whole fucking country to see. And they should.
But from what I get out of it, most of his requests were not money. That was not the issue because they have this raw earth deal that's going to bring money. It was the
Well,
security of the ceasefire. Like if we make this deal, how is it going to be guaranteed that Putin's not going to breach? It wasn't about give me money, give me money. It was about put my mind at ease that I don't have to worry about Putin breaking this deal, this ceasefire,
sure.
because he has a pattern of breaking it in the past.
Yeah.
And that
But I
wasn't
think,
getting addressed.
I think with Trump there, I do believe that there is a real way to bridge the differences. But like I said, Zelensky has to kind of take a knee, and not saying bow out, but just like relax and chill. If this
I
guy,
didn't find him that worked up. So I saw some people saying he was getting emotional, and I'm like, if that's emotional, like don't come and stay away from the panel verse, because Zelensky to me he seemed, considering the situation he's in,
sure,
there was nothing about his emotionality
Well, he's
that
hopped
struck
up
me
on all
as
kinds
odd.
of drugs, man. He's snorting all kinds of shit. I'm sure, man.
sure. And to give him some credence, I think that his stressful situation probably plays a mental toll on him. So yes, I understand the angle you're talking about, Jeff. I understand he's not himself for what he's going through. All the pressure he's under. But still, when you come to basically beg for more help from the most powerful nation in the world, you come with respect. You come in a suit. You come very polite. You don't just. I just all I'm
Trump
trying
didn't
to
say
say is,
anything about the suit, and neither did Vance. That was that one reporter. So I'm
yeah.
not gonna hold the suit thing against him.
But it's what everyone's thinking. You come there, everything's about respect, and all I'm trying to say is my opinion only. Zelensky doesn't seem like he truly respects Trump, and if he
Well, he
doesn't,
probably doesn't.
if he doesn't, make believe you do,
Well,
because you're going to
He did
do.
continually say
Yeah,
though the U.S. is on
yeah,
our side. They're our biggest partner. We need them to make this happen. So he
sure.
acknowledged over and over and over the
Mhm.
importance of the U.S.
But look this up, Jeff. I don't think in the history. Now I could be wrong. I don't know this. I don't think a president has ever kicked another president out of the White House. I don't know if
I
that's
see. I
ever
missed that part
happened.
because they kicked the cameras out at the end, so I didn't see the
Yeah.
part where he actually got kicked out.
He told them to
C-SPAN
leave.
ended it before that.
They were
But
supposed to
even
have one.
after that, because Zelensky's been doing interviews and stuff since, he's still saying how important the United States is to making
He
this. So it's
probably
not like he
got
turned or changed his opinion
he
on.
probably got
Yeah.
all kinds of fucked up after that one.
So what the story was coming out from Fox News and some other, like I think Newsweek. The story was, and the reason, and this information is coming from the press corps, because the press corps is there and they can hear stuff going on in the background. The story is allegedly is that Zelensky, Trump is like, you know what, just leave. We're not going to get anywhere. Just get to stepping. I'm just saying hypothetically. And then Zelensky's like, no, let's work it out, because they had this big, huge lunch set up, for him and his cabinet and Trump and his cabinet. And Trump said there's no need to go any further, just leave. That's allegedly. And he ended up leaving. Trump gets on a plane and flies to Florida after a small press conference. And they said all the food that was provided, the press corps ate. The press corps ate the food that was for all of like the dignitaries. That's the story. So the press corps got to eat good because you have tables full of food.
Man,
I wonder what they
and-
served them, considering
they
Trump's
had a
diet.
good meal, man. I bet that they had some good food.
Maybe
Yeah.
they got some good fries.
I think it's the first time, and Trump loves McDonald's. I think it was the
Yeah.
first time the president has ever, I don't know if it is, but I think it's the first time a president has kicked out another president out of the White House. Get out of here. Like, I don't know if it's ever happened before.
And also, I'm like, J.D. Vance made this point about Zelensky had come and campaigned for Biden. He came and tried to help Biden
Kamala.
win. So that's kind of in the background of this too. He was working against Trump's election.
He was, Jeff, he was campaigning for Kamala in October.
Yeah.
So,
So
Trump-
even considering that, I think Trump
yeah,
and Vance, until that little part at the end, were
Yeah.
very gracious and hospitable. Even because they were sitting with a person from that was trying to oppose them just a few months
Yeah.
ago.
I
I
think
mean, the first 40 minutes or so, I think, went fine. Trump and Zelensky were talking it out. They were both civil. The reporters were kind of getting jabs in here and there, but I didn't see any major flags for the first 40 minutes or so until the J.D. Vance thing started. And that was just a few minutes at the end. But then that's
Vance
when
popped
everything
off.
broke down.
Yeah, as soon as Vance picked up on some kind of disrespect, I guess, because, Vance and Trump are tight. They're
But it
boys,
also looked like
and-
they were ready to find disrespect. Like they were waiting
They were-
for disrespect because they were prepared to see it.
Yeah.
They were expecting it.
So anything can
and-
read as disrespect under those
You
conditions.
can't expect anything less from Zelensky.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We're not gonna cut them off completely, but I think that they're not, But I guess Trump has already made a deal with Russia already. They've already been talking, so Trump and Putin have probably been talking before he even met with Zelensky. They're probably, setting up the whole perimeters of a what if thing. But yeah, I mean, literally, it was a matter of like an hour, and Trump's like, "Yep, I'm going to sign with Putin, do this, this, and this, and for a peace deal and stuff like that." But yeah, it's a mess. It is a mess over there.
I don't know. I was
feel-
mostly encouraged because so much of it did seem to go well. Like
I
that
think it
little
was.
few minutes at the end. That's
Yeah.
if you put it in the larger context, that's very recoverable to me.
Yeah, I think it was handled the best it could be handled. I mean, you have a frustrated president, you have a frustrated vice president in America, and then you have a frustrated president of Ukraine. Everyone's pissed off. Everyone's like riled up. Everyone's like over all this crap already. It's not like a fresh issue. This has been going on for years now, and I think everyone's just wants to put an end to it. It just seemed to me like Trump wants to end this, and Zelensky wants to keep fighting. That's just what it seems like to me.
I didn't get the impression he wanted to keep fighting. It seemed like he wanted to end it just as much as anybody else. He just had questions about how that was going to happen that they weren't answering.
Well, I mean, the thing they should just do it. Not
Hey, Jeff,
at a
I'll be right back.
thing,
Okay. Yeah.
at a press thing. I think that was the wrong time for them to be talking about that shit.
Well, and that's what J.D. Vance tried to say, but Trump is like, no, let it go. It's fine.
Yeah,
The people
fuck
need to see this.
Let the American people see what you are. I mean, shit, dude. Like, I was just like kind of like thinking, oh my God, Trump is right. And I've never, ever, ever thought anything good about Trump at all until just recently.
I was impressed with. I think Trump he has skill, regardless of what people say about him or his personality. or
I just
whatever.
I didn't like any presidents all
He
my life.
has evident skill in negotiating and diplomacy.
Yeah, I mean he seems to for sure. And but like I just gotta say that these people have never interested me at all throughout my entire life. None of them ever did. In fact, I despised them. And I still kind of, well, I do, but like, I don't despise Trump and Vance and RFK Jr. This is the first administration I have hope for, but there's some things, it's a little rocky. It's a little like the boat's rocking a little weird, you know? You know what I mean?
Well, we're in this is all an attempt to bring peace. So we're in uncharted territory. They're going to try their best. It's not guaranteed, but at least they're making the attempt.
Well, I was just talking about the whole entire administration's, their agendas. I mean, I think there's a lot of good things that are coming about because of a lot of them, but there's things I don't know yet. I haven't really looked into them. So,
Yeah. I think it's going to be a while before we see fully the effects of because they're moving really fast. They really are.
yeah, I mean, I've probably said this before. It's like I think they're doing a bang up job, like exposing fraud and fucking. It's just unbelievable. Where does that money go for all the dead people that have been dead for a long time? It's just what the fuck, man. That's
The dead people.
yeah, man. There was money going to dead soldiers or something, dead veterans or something or
Oh,
something
I
like
didn't
that.
hear about that one.
I could be wrong, but it was dead somebody's, and all this there was like billions of dollars going out to nowhere, and or who knows where it was going. That's the question I have. Where the fuck was it going?
It
But
doesn't seem like it would be hard to track money in this day and age.
well, they're definitely tracking it now. It
Well,
seems that
good.
like
I
there's
have no problem with that.
a lot of people were not doing their jobs and wasting American taxpayers' money.
Brown's boy says he'd rather follow Be More Busker than Mr. Tate. So there you go. High praise.
Cheers, man. You got any in your audience? You got any smokers of the herb?
Oh, I'm sure. I don't know if there's a time where we don't have at least a smoker or two. Who's high out there?
Oh, I'm smoking a very fucking good strain, man.
Yeah,
July.
and Jeremy, I know from just being in the workplace that people update computer systems all the time. So if they're outdated, they could easily go in there and get new systems in. Or it seems like they should be able to. Companies can do it.
Well, now they're getting that fucking like they're getting woken up with some cold water.
Here you go. You got Ricardo. He said it's always 420 at his house.
Hell yeah, man. I'm smoking gelato 44 crossed with Z cubed,
What
and
is it? What key?
that's Skittles. That they
Oh,
had called
I've had gelato before.
Yeah, gelato also is awesome, but like gelato 44 crossed with z z cubed, which
ZQ.
is it's like what they did was they had the Skittles that they or I'm not gonna call it Skittles is whatever, but they had the Skittles crossed with another strain, and then they back crossed it with another parent that's a Skittles. So it's like they injected more Skittles into the genetics by back crossing. It's so fascinating how they did all this. And they bred it with Gelato 44 or 33. I think that's what, not 44, it's 33. Gotta love that number. Gelato 33. Yeah, man, I'm feeling good, man. It's uplifting. I feel really good. It's probably the best. I, I'm not depressed, but if I was, this would be a good antidepressant for me.
Yeah, that's why I first started using it was as an antidepressant
Yeah, you
and to
got to
help with
find the
the
right.
PTSD.
Yeah. Did you find that certain strains didn't work as well for you?
Yeah, I'm not big on the indicas because they couch lock me. I just get too
Yeah,
sedate.
yeah. Some of them are good, but they got to be like more sativa. They,
Yeah, it's a sativa or a good sativa leaning hybrid is
exactly.
does the trick.
You're right in
And I
my
used to do
ballpark.
indica at night to go sleep, but even the indicas, if they were too strong, would make me more depressed than they would alleviate.
Yeah, I can understand that. I just get kind of blah. I don't want to. I want to play music when I'm
And
on.
I get demotivated. That was the worst part. I'm
Exactly.
already lazy. I got so lazy.
There's no
We,
creativity going like that. That's what I liked about the real sativas and stuff like that. They really motivate me to become creative, and I've made so much music because of marijuana, and I learned instruments. All the instruments I've ever learned was because of marijuana.
oh, so
I really,
you owe your whole career to weed.
what, dude, I just, it's like I jumped into it. It was so easy. When I got stoned, I figured out how to play a Cajun accordion. I just, I mean, I'd be obsessive and I'd play forever and ever and ever. Probably annoy the fuck out of my neighbors. but I've come. Oh man, it's windy as shit here, dude. I can feel it in my room.
Oh,
Oh my god, the draft is. Yeah, dude. This. It sounds like it's swirling around my goddamn house.
like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, dude. It's like I feel like I'm like fucking. I need a Toto or whatever. Is that the name of the dog?
Toto, yeah.
Yeah, I need one of those little
Toto.
dogs. Uh, I wish I had. I got on my picture. You see that dog? That's my nephew's dog.
Oh, I thought it was an accordion. I thought you were playing an accordion. You're petting a dog. Okay,
Yeah,
I see it now. Hang on.
yeah. It's a little something dog. Um, it might have some Chihuahua in its blood, but they found it. It was walking down the street, and it was eyes were bugged out. You see his ribs. He was starving. So they picked it up and saved it. That's the sweetest little dog, man. And it doesn't bark at all.
Oh yeah, those are the best kind.
Yeah. And it wants to sit on your lap. It's almost like a cat in a way. And it doesn't stink too bad. I smelled worse. It's not too bad. My parents had some dogs. Man, Cleo and one named Honer. They called it Honer.
Toner.
Honer. Like I used to play Honer brand accordions.
Oh, Honer. Okay.
Yeah, and they just went ahead and named their dog Honer. So yeah, he stunk so goddamn bad.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
I
did
hate a stinky
Cleo.
dog.
Cleo smelled bad. Oh my god.
Oh my God, swordfish. Does that stink? It's. I know shark does.
Swordfish. Wow. That sounds like a big meal.
Yeah, yeah, it's the whole fish. How big is your stove?
Dude. This wind cut out my Wi-Fi earlier. Lucky to
Oh,
have it back.
that's powerful wind.
Yeah, man. It used to be a lot worse with wind. Like the Wi-Fi would be not trustworthy, period. But like it's gotten a lot better than it was. I'll have to say, as expensive as this shit is.
I haven't seen. I never sat through the Titanic. I have to wait. I have to look up that clip. Let's see. The crow's nest. Andrew does spurg. I want y'all to notice. Because he calls everybody else out for spurging, but so much of that is projection.
Andrew Tate, yeah, he
Oh,
spurts like
Wilson. Andrew, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the other Andrew.
okay.
What do people see in that guy? What is his appeal? Why are we worried about Andrew Tate when there are other Andrews to worry about?
I
And he's
don't
an
know
influencer too. He influences young men, I think.
what does he
Debate
do?
bros, at least.
What's is he another panel channel?
Yeah, Andrew Wilson. He has the Crucible.
I never heard of
Oh,
that.
okay. Well, he'll be glad to hear it.
I mean, like, what do they cover in the whole?
It's a debate channel, like blood sports. He'll have random people on to debate.
Yeah, kind of like, well, I don't know if this is the right streamer to, what's his name? Flow State. Does he have those like people that come on and debate and do all kinds of?
Flow state to me is more just a conversation style panel, kind of like this one. Andrew is specific. Like they'll have a moderator, they'll have a topic, they'll time their they'll have a certain amount of minutes to open, then the other person gets to rebut, and then they'll have a question round where they get to go back and forth. They'll have a moderator that steps in and keeps them on topic. So it's more of an organized. It's more structured. It's an actual. It's not a
Yeah,
real debate, but it's the YouTube version of a debate.
yeah.
And he's an Orthodox Christian, so he and Jim Bob are partner
Oh
up a lot.
God. And Jim Bob's a character.
He's a guy. He's a real person. I mean, he's a streamer.
Yeah, I
Jim,
mean, I've seen he does do some funny and kind of cool stuff, but whatever. The only reason I know about him is because of Owen Benjamin, and they
yeah, a lot of them come from the Owen Benjamin crowd.
they had a falling out or some
Yeah.
shit. And do you know Liz? Australian Liz?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she's apparently like arch enemies with uh, Owen Benjamin. I don't know if you know who he is. He used to be a comedian in California. Owen Benjamin.
Oh, yeah. I didn't follow the whole Owen Benjamin story. I know he bought some land and tried to start a cult or something,
Yeah, he did some grifting shit, and then like
and he lives with his mom.
that I used to kind of get a kick out of his streams. Like he said some of the crazy shit, and but like now he's just like yeah, he's kind of stale, and he's
I watched him one time, and he was begging the audience for money and
yep.
insulting them and berating them for
Yeah,
not
yeah,
sending any.
exactly, dude,
Like, how
exactly.
does this guy keep followers?
Yeah, that is. He thinks he's the fucking shit, but he's not. He's a
And then
worm.
they had some bear conference,
Yeah, fuck
and they
all
had
that.
one guy that had a channel, and he was driving to it, and he was streaming his car ride, and talking the whole time about
The Bears.
the bear conference and all the things that they
You
did
know,
and
it's
what he
kind of
learned.
funny, man.
Because in the gay world, the bear that means something totally
I
different.
know. That's why it's so funny, man. Like, oh shit. But they have like, I know JJ Hempcrete Bear. He makes JJ's CBD rub, and man, that stuff is fucking out of this world.
Oh yeah, Deerfar, the whatever podcast. He goes on that all the time. And what's the other one? Fresh and fit, and he used to go on Alex playing with fire too. And then somebody said he was on Piers Morgan a while back. He's, I mean, as far as growing a channel, like getting his name out there and his brand and growing the channel, he's done a good job with that. He's hanging out with feds. Yeah, I get those two confused too. They're kind of similar styles of podcasts. News anchors are. Oh, are you saying Piers Morgan is a fed? What does that mean? What does that mean? Like what does he do? Report the guests to the government? There's all the shows are recorded. They can just watch it themselves. I don't know. I don't understand this whole fed thing.
Made by Jim Bob's got an upcoming stream at 9 o'clock. Yeah, I have them in my notifications
Oh,
on this app, so like I can just kind of scroll through what's going on.
yeah. I
And
think he's live almost every day,
yeah,
more or
he's
less.
for sure, definitely. And
Is that Imp Dave? Look at Dave. No,
he
that's
is
not
kind of
Dave. Never mind.
he is kind of humorous in his own way. I think he can be funny, a little bit.
Wait, what? Piers Morgan got caught making up stories and
Well,
had to
oh,
leave his
surprise,
country.
surprise! They
I
all
remember when
do.
I knew him from The Apprentice. I remember him when he was on The Apprentice.
Dude, they all make up stories, man. This is the media we're talking about.
Well, I'm looking him up. Let's see. Phone hacking allegations. Is that what it was? Hmm.
Well, hey, brother, I think I'm gonna hop off. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for coming up. Have a good rest of your day and
You too, my friend.
enjoy.
You too.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia article now, but there's way too much. I'm just not interested enough in him to sift through all of this. But y'all could look at it if you want. Um, like I said, I really only know him from The Apprentice. So I watched him as a contestant try to play this game, and so I know his like social politics more than anything else. I don't watch his show or know what he does on the show. I fact check I fact check people when it something dings my brain and says, "Hang on, that doesn't sound quite. Let me look deeper into that." Or if I'm unfamiliar with what's being said, then I'll look it up for myself. Well, there's so many news though. Like every channel you turn on is going to tell you a different thing. So there's not. That's the problem. We're in the age of narrative. There's not a single narrative. You can't just turn on the news and get the story. There's multiple sources. They're going to tell you multiple different versions of events. So without some way to make sense and kind of piece together for yourself what's going on, you're just at the mercy of whatever source you choose to believe. To me, it would be even harder to mind control people now than back when media was more centralized. I might go ahead and wrap up. I've been going for a couple of hours. Just believe them all, or think for yourself and figure out what makes the most sense, and learn like fact check, look at evidence. Just basic fact checking would weed out probably 70-80% of false beliefs out there, and then you can build and or figure out which narratives are credible around the remaining 20%. My hail Satan, my Satan unicorn. All right, I think I'm gonna go get my weekend started. I'm gonna Mardi Gras Monday and Tuesday evening. Lundi Gras is Monday, Mardi Gras is Tuesday. This is Mardi Gras weekend. Party it up, have fun, get it all out of your system. Cause Wednesday, you get the ashes on your head. And so the next time you'll see me will probably be Monday afternoon. Come with your beads, come with your Mardi Gras gear, come in costume. I'm going to do a 2-day Mardi Gras party. Well, I don't get too excited because every time I go over 800, it ends up falling back. And you know who gave me that 800th? Was midlife bro, what is his name? Mid-bro life logic. Because he keeps taking his sub away and putting it back. He holds me hostage with his one little sub. Because, small people will take any little thing that gives them power, no matter how tiny. And he uses that to manipulate me. And so he rewarded me last night by resubbing me so that I'm back at 800. So he keeps me teetering right on that edge. But not in a good way, not in a gay way or a good way. Let's see. The ashy. Stop. I know about the ashy leg. I mean, yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, I think TML is going to go live later. Yeah, let me find a panel to send you to. Let's see who's out streaming. Fatty's out. Is he doing a panel though? Axis. Rat Blood Radio. And then Machine's coming up in about 3 hours. Oh, Axis is not quite on yet, but he will be up. Here, Fatty's doing Trump memes. So there. Go check out Fatty. And then in about 5 minutes, Axis Rat Blood is going to start his show. And he usually does a panel. So there's 2 of them to choose from. And I will... Yeah, I think it's in about 3 hours. Yeah, I like Fat. We like Fatty around here. He showed up the other day. He was on the ski slopes. He was streaming from the mountain, and we got to watch him ski. It was so cool. I love it when people stream from their lives. African streamed from the pub last night. It was a British pub. They were on a pub crawl, and he streamed some of it. Also cool. So yeah, if If you ever want to stream what you're doing, Ricardo, I remember you went for that pier walk one night. That was cool as well. Well, he's not for everybody, Browns, but I'm a people person. It doesn't take much for me to like somebody. Like it takes a lot for me to not like somebody. I can usually find something to like about anybody. And the more I get to know them, usually that deepens. He's not he's unless Nazis is a race, he's not racist. I don't think he's racist. I think Fatty's he's a good cat. Ooh. I would love to see. I love the beach. Would y'all like y'all have you talking about the English, the British beaches? Well, still, I mean, it'd still be fun to see. We, yeah, and plus it's summer. I'm hoping to get a few hikes in this year, maybe even some camping trips. So maybe I'll have some. I could stream from the woods. Like in Alone, except with other people. They give them that little camera, and then they have to go off in the forest by themselves and stream everything. Wait, what? No, I'm gonna have wait, Browns. I'm gonna have to ask him about that. What is a black house? You talking about houses that I didn't even know he was in real estate. You're talking about houses that are being sold by black people. He staged. What does white staging and black staging even look like? Like he takes the plastic off the furniture. What is white staging? This might be my next topic next week after Mardi Gras. How to stage a black home versus a white home. Well, we're gonna next time he's on, Fatty. Next time you're on, let's talk about your racism. Have you been? Do you snowshoe, Plasma? When I first moved here, people told me to. They said we have year-round hiking, but you have to learn how to snowshoe. And I never did pick up a pair of snowshoes. So. That ended up being that. Or do you just hike? Like, as long as you have the right shoes, you don't really need snowshoes. But I remember when I did Mount Adams, I was in my just regular shoes, my hiking boots, whatever, and we had poles, the ski poles, that we would use for support. And that was fine. It got me like 2/3 up. And then that's when I had to turn around and glissade back down because we didn't have enough poles to continue when it got steeper. Oh, well, that I've done about 800 streams. I'd have to. I'm looking forward to the day where the AI can index and archive everything, so I could just type in and it can take me to what stream that was on. Did he really? I don't even remember it. All right. If you know the link, let me know, and next time I see him, I'm gonna hopefully remember to bring it up. Yeah, that okay, that makes sense. That so it's possible to hike in the winter without snowshoes. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, let me know. And I will be happy to revisit it because I don't even there's so much that happens on this channel. I don't even remember all of it. We need a like a greatest hits or a year in review where we go back and refresh on all the madness that happened that year. And at this point we could probably even put together some kind of channel awards. I'll maybe start keeping some categories in my head and as things come up, maybe marking things and then people can nominate their own. And maybe by the end of this year, we could put together a channel awards show with some, I want like silly fun categories, not anything generic and conventional. Creative categories. it'd just be for fun. Okay, well this helps because I always put the people that were on the panel. So if I know some of the people that were on, I could just search by those names. I do remember one where, oh, was it the one where we were talking about the kids in school and how there was this conspiracy that white people were deliberately not educating black kids so that they would fail and get left behind and only the white kids would advance? And Fatty was saying how, yeah, that does happen. And that he used to be a teacher and he used to teach, like, do that to the black kids. Or so. Was it that conversation? Oh, well, that helps too because Chaotic Truth has only been on the show one time. And he never came back because the panel was so unhospitable to him. They were talking over, they were interrupting, and Chaotic Truth was very civil, he was polite, he was well behaved, he was courteous, and he was like trying to do a professional panel where he lets people talk and then he responds, and none of the other people on the panel were doing that. And so he never came back. But let me see if I can find that one. There's one with Chris, Lib, you, Moose, Busker, Chuck, Uncle Fatty, Chaotic Truth. Was it that one? 10 months ago? I might have found it. Oh my God, it was a 7-hour stream too. Here, I'll put the link. Y'all can see if this is it. That's back when we still had Lib. Is that Dutchy? Oh my God, Dutchy's on this one. Cynthia's on it. Joe Cool's on there. Okay, you know race came up if Joe Cool's on there. Here, see if that's the one. There. It's 7 hours of fun. That should get you through Monday. And then I'll be out again Monday evening for Lundi Gras, which is the day before Mardi Gras. Really, Mardi Gras starts like 6 weeks before it builds up, but the weekend before, starting like last night, Friday, today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, there's going to be just in New Orleans, there's going to be party after party after party and parades and parades and parades, and Mardi Gras Day is when it all just climaxes. And so Monday, I'll be out doing Mardi Gras on Tuesday. And then Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. And then maybe we can revisit this stream as a topic. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Great seeing all of you. Have fun out in the panelverse. Have fun in real life. Hopefully you get to experience a little bit of that this weekend. And I'll be out Monday for Lundi Gras. Yeah, baby. Ooh! Ow! Laissez les bon temps rouler. Throw me something, mister. Show me those tatas. Monday. Be there. I'll see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye. Hail Mardi Gras. Lundi Gras.